I'm so excited to welcome back Angela Dalton to the stage, who many of you guys have seen moderating. So please give her a warm welcome.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Rebecca.
you, Angela.
Thank you.
Excited to hear you.
I'm so excited to be here. So the title, I've changed the title, I think, from what's on the agenda, but it's Games or the Trojan Horse to Unlock NFTs in the Metaverse. And just so everybody knows, Angela Dalton, CEO and founder of Signum Growth Capital. I have a very traditional background in finance, always in the tech sector, both in equity research, investment banking, but I've since 2003 focused on video games. I've always found video games to be super interesting. That's where the engagement is. I was always kind of surrounded by these media people that were obsessed with TV, and I was like, but nobody's watching TV. People are playing games. And so, anyway, in 2016, I got very excited about the elegance of Bitcoin, and then along came the ERC 721 standard. And in thinking about gaming and the idea that buying, selling, trading digital assets in games had been happening for decades, it really hit me that as we move from kind of the analog world to the kind of hybrid analog or physical digital world, which is kind of the selfies in Machu Picchu and Rent the Runway. We're going now to a more all digital world, digital on digital world, I call it. So the selfie might be a selfie of your avatar in an online space. But as we spend more time in these, we care more and more about property rights. And also NFTs have such a phenomenal, we have such a phenomenal opportunity to take advantage of multi-dimensional ownership. So the idea that they unlock experiences, et cetera. So anyway, so that's me. I already went through it. And so a lot of people ask us to define the metaverse. I'm sure a lot of you have a definition of the metaverse. And so we challenged ourselves at Signum to really come up with the exact words that the metaverse represents to us. And so I call it the human multisensory understanding of authenticity. And the reason, and yesterday actually I was meeting with somebody from the NFL who might be here, who said, who added continuous. And I thought that was really, really interesting because it separates some games, like maybe Grand Theft Auto or some traditional games that people are saying are a metaverse. But the way I think about the metaverse is kind of a continuous, authentic, multi-sensory experience of any kind. And I have a 10-year-old who plays a lot of Roblox. She has a dress store in Roblox. She invites her friends. They change clothes. They sell each other things. It's a very kind of natural hangout space. What I'm really interested in is the 2.5 billion gamers. Even though I've been in the crypto space since 2017 and we founded the company to focus on crypto and video games, we're really interested in merging onto the highway of behavior that's already happening. So, in the same way that gamers had been buying, selling, trading digital assets for decades, we view 2.5 billion gamers coming to the crypto space and coming to NFTs because it just extends that natural behavior that people are already doing. And so I'm just going to go through a quick kind of where did NFTs come from? So I think of this as, I alluded to it before, the physical on physical world, which is, I grew up in Overland Park, Kansas, a suburb of Kansas City, and my parents would have dinner parties, and there's china on the table and art on the walls, and the home is kind of the center of gravity of status and identity. And one can drive, his car or her car away from the house, and go walk the dog, wear certain clothes, but the home is really the center of it all. And these kind of radiuses around the home are the opportunity to really express oneself and build social capital. Then the first millennials graduated from college the same year that Facebook went public, and then we had the iPhone, and we had Instagram, and I think that it's interesting to think about velocity of identity at that time and velocity of social capital, because again, as I mentioned before, one can go to Machu Picchu and take a selfie. You don't need a home. You can rent the runway and have wear something different every day, but the center of gravity. The reason you can do that is because the center of gravity is now the iPhone. It's not the home. So mobility just exploded, and the opportunity to express oneself exploded along with that. But it still depends on the physical. You still have to go to Machu Picchu to take the selfie. You still have to have these experiences and take, pictures of physical. So now we're going into this moment of, or we have been going into this moment on digital, so fully digital, as I mentioned. I mentioned my daughter's dress store in Roblox. We have a collab with ARK Invest called Signum ARK Gallery. So Ben Foreman was here earlier today. Definitely come check us out. We're in CryptoVoxels, we're in Decentraland, but we have art galleries where we host events with our avatars. And so it's a world that no physical representation is needed. And since that's the case, I'm going to value my stuff around me a lot more, and I'm going to want property rights. I'm going to want provenance. Again, so this is just a pretty interesting survey that we found, which is that gamers are spending time engaging with non-gaming activities. And this is that, kind of gaming is the Trojan horse. We will get to this moment where time spent is doing a lot of other things. And the other thing that's happening at the same time is advertising, as the engine for Web 2. I think, we're all coming to this conclusion that it's a human conflict of interest between the creator and the fan. It, by definition, wants to insert itself between us and obfuscate, convince. And there are going to be, in the new Web3, with the new Web3 internet infrastructure, we don't need advertising to be an intermediary or to be, to kind of, we're going to be in an area where there's, more truth, less trust. When we have technology that is built in a way that it benefits users, we don't need to trust. So this is, I'll just go over this really quickly. This is something that I've been thinking about lately, that if this Web 2 infrastructure and advertising as kind of the intermediary goes away, does FANG go away? And we've been thinking about this a lot. So we're very excited about these companies, Discord, Unity, Roblox, and Epic. I did notice recently that it spells Dur, which is solid foundation. The reason I put NVIDIA in parentheses is because I don't have enough information, but I do think their Omniverse technology is pretty interesting. So I do think that Endure could be the new FANG. So Epic Games is an example of this. Epic is one mantra we have with all of our the investments we make, the companies we work with, is that the game is just a demo of the technology. We're really interested in technology that is going to proliferate the metaverse. And game engines, we believe, will be the base of that. So the Unity engine, game engine, the Epic Games Unreal Engine 5 that's out this year. The Unreal Engine 5 is really a game changer that is going to create this world, this metaverse world that we might think of as Fortnite right now. But Fortnite is just going to be a street in a much bigger neighborhood. Walking away from the Fortnite game, you'll be able to go into Travis Scott concert, go to movies, watch TV, hang out with your friends, go shopping, go to the Balenciaga store. There's going to be a lot to do. So I would be remiss if I didn't mention these challenges. A lot of people have gone over them today. There are still challenges, and this first few years has been rocky, But I do think that it was almost a necessary experimentation phase, and I feel like we're entering this moment where the foundation is solidifying. And now we are seeing more content, more exciting games. You know, Mythical was our first investment. We're so excited about NFL Rivals and Blancos and some of these games that are going to pull in the 2.5 billion gamers. So we're very excited about the future. And I think that's it. So thank you so much for coming.
Woo. Thank you, Angela.